Now, if you watched my last video on Alibaba and you're watching this video right now and you're thinking, you know what, Matt Gore is just butthurt over the whole situation. Yeah, you're right. I am 100% butthurt over everything regarding Alibaba right now. Like this situation sucks, especially for investors, whether you're investing directly, holding Alibaba shares, or whether you're an American investor and you're holding shares in Alibaba Holdings, which, somewhere down the line, equates to Alibaba shares. And yes, I am 100% butthurt over this whole situation. It really sucks. Now, before you go into comments and, complain to me about it, let me say it right now. Alibaba is a fantastic company, what I researched of it so far. Like, everything aside, if it wasn't for the fact that Alibaba is in China, I would be buying it right now. It's a very fantastic company. It's like the Amazon of China, which is, just as international as Amazon. Well, almost as international as Amazon. It's fantastic. Like, if you look at its valuations, it is in a fantastic spot as far as pricing goes. If you want to take a look at its revenue over a year, like, you can see this company is absolutely exploding. These numbers are in CNY. This isn't a USD, but compared year over year, like, this company is exploding in revenue. In any other situation, Alibaba will be a complete steal. And it really sucks looking at this great company and knowing that I can't invest in it. I can't ever invest in it. I do have some biases. One I'm going to tell now, and one I'm not going to tell. But if you watched my last video, you can already tell. But the first bias is I am a capitalist. I am 100% a capitalist, and I'm very proud of being a capitalist. I am not a fan of socialism at all. The second, the one I'm not going to go into is, if you watched my last video, you can kind of tell how I feel about, China right now. I'm not going to go into it, but you can already tell how I feel. Now, unless you've been living under a rock, if you're in the investing world, you know that China has been screwing over Alibaba and other tech companies pretty hard indeed for the last, at least the past year, maybe longer. I think I watched on Financial Education where, what was it? Alibaba tried to spin up the Ant Group IPO. China not only squashed that, but it forced Alibaba to divest from Ant Group, and then it turned Ant Group into a financial holdings owned by China state. Like, that's terrible. Like, that is god awful. Like, now let's keep it real. Like, there are members in the American government that would like to see somewhat the same thing happen. We're talking the authoritarian left, and let's be honest, the authoritarian right would do it too if it had the chance. Now, yes, there are parts of our own government that are trying to do it, for our own tech giants, but partially due to infighting, partially due to checks and balances between the different parties, so far they've been unsuccessful. But the main difference, at least right now, it may not be in the future if certain powers in our government have their way, but at least as of right now, if I wanted to, I can talk shit about, my government and not get disappeared, at least right now. You can't do that over there at all. If the powers that be over there want something, they take it. Jack Ma got freaking disappeared. He said a couple words about, financial regulators over there, and he got freaking disappeared. We don't know what happened, but he went away for a while. As an investor, this makes it very difficult. Like, when your home country like drastically changes your business model and keeps doing it, and you don't know when it's going to stop. Like, for example, this right here from March. Let's say you've invested in Alibaba since last year because you really believed in its media assets. Well, and then up just like that, China asked Alibaba to sell its media assets. And in that government, I'm pretty sure Alibaba doesn't have the option to say no. So you can consider that word ask with quotation marks. Like, that really sucks if you're an investor and that's your, that's your investment thesis, your bullish thesis, and then that just gets changed through no fault of Alibaba. Like, that absolutely sucks. Now, yes, the same thing is trying to happen here in the US, but so far it's not happening yet. And I just, if you've been, I don't know, I just really feel investors are getting absolutely screwed over through no fault of Alibaba, at least right now. And then more recently, Alibaba just donates a third of its cash to Chinese initiatives. Now, there are certain entities, American entities like Seeking Alpha, that will try to tell themselves that this is a good thing, and maybe it is. Like, there's this one from Seeking Alpha, like I said, trying to talk about how these are investments because they use a translation app and they said these are investments, and that is kind of true. If you go to the Alibaba page and you translate directly into English, yes, it does use the word investments. Now, but that's just a Google that is just Google Translate. We don't know the nuance behind that. I mean, I don't understand Chinese. Like, what does that mean? What does this mean and not the Google Translate? Does that really mean invest? And what is the nature of that investment? I mean, if you look at all the sites here, it says donate. Hell, I mean, if you do a, Google search, I mean, Alibaba donates. It gets rid of it. I mean, and that's what I'm going to believe. Am I right? Am I wrong? I have no idea. They're not saying anything, but I mean, as an investor, I mean, if I invest my money in a company, I need to be sure that it's not going to just, up and give away a third of its money like that. Hey guys, Editing Matt here. One thing I want to add as far as the whole Alibaba donation thing. Now, one thing, I do know that the other tech giants are, donating, quote unquote, donating also a portion of their cash to Chinese initiatives. But let's just assume, and this is not what I believe, but let's assume that Alibaba is doing it entirely of its own will. And I still don't like that as an investor, that Alibaba is just going up and give away a third of its cash to Chinese initiatives. As an investor, that's not something I like. Now, I do understand that given its cash flow, that's cash that can be replaced over time, but I still don't like that. And the question I have to ask is, when will it stop? Like, Alibaba is a company that I really would like to invest in, because the more I read about it, the more I like it. But I can't ever. And I feel really bad for current investors. I mean, it's great that you want to, buy the dip and stuff, but like, how do you know if this is going to stop? Like, can you tell me that a year from now that China's not going to quote unquote, ask Alibaba to, break off more of its assets, or, break off more of its assets and then claim those assets as Chinese state property? Can you tell me that that's not going to happen in a year from now? I don't think you can. But anyways, I've talked long enough. Take care, have a great day, and eat your vegetables.